Alright, how y'all doing? I'm back again. Alright, something a little bit different. Here reading Star Wars, Book of the Sith by a guy named... sorry, I don't know what the hell his name is. Sorry, don't know what the hell the guy's actual name is who wrote this. So y'all can go out there and find it. Nope. Sorry, nothing. Oh, some dude named Wallace. Wallace something. Yeah. Right. So anyway, right, I know I'm used to, right, reading different type of books and stuff, you know, like philosophical and religious stuff, but I had to get this because it's kind of in a religious vein, you know. Basically, pretty much, I know y'all can't see it back there because it's dark red with black and stuff, like a burgundy or something. But yeah, because it's kind of connected to, like, you know, kind of philosophical and religious and stuff, because basically I read this book because, well, it's twofold, right? One, when you watch Star Wars, they basically talk over and over again about the Jedi, right? But they don't give you nothing about the Sith, right? And to me, I wanted to find the other part. And this book, well, I'm gonna go further in depth into how it goes into the Sith, and it really fills in all of the questions and blank spots that you don't know from lack of watching the movies. And two, there's like books on the Jedi and how the Jedi is like how George Lucas took from like Buddhism and Taoism and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's tons of books. I haven't read those yet, but I will get to them and stuff. But I was like, well, what about the religion of the Sith? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, we ought to know the other side. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at it, right, they're so similar. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like it's a philosophical fight or like a religious fight when you look at it, you know. And it doesn't even seem like two different religions because they're so the same. So it seems like it's denominations that have split off and become their own religion. Kind of like how, you know, Christianity is derived from Judaism and then Islam is derived from Christianity and Judaism, you know. Or like with Hinduism, even though Hinduism is a group of religions and stuff, some opposing, some not. You know, you do have other totally different faiths like Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. You know, Sikhism is kind of a combination of like Islam and Hinduism and stuff, but they do kind of oppose. They're like very similar and actually oppose Hinduism, and the same thing with the Abrahamic faiths. So it seemed more like a denominational fight. So it's like, okay, well, what happened? Why did they break off? You know what I'm saying? And there's like little stuff, you know, you hear about, you see on YouTube about how, and they talk about how a lot of the Jedi were people who, a lot of the Sith were former Jedi. And watching online and stuff about the comic books, yeah, that's what happened. You know, it was former Jedi who broke away. You know what I'm saying? And over thousands of years, there were other Jedi who broke away and joined up with the Sith, right? So I was just wondering what happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, because there are gray Jedi who broke off but are not antagonistic towards the Jedi. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what was the problem where they just became antagonistic, right? And this book fills it out. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's my curiosity, right? So basically, the Book of the Sith is basically, the story goes that pretty much right after Revenge of the Sith, after Palpatine won and then Vader, you know, he saved Vader and made, you know, Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader, Palpatine was going through the archives of the Jedi, and he found all this stuff, not only from the Jedi, but from the Sith too. I mean, they had everything: Sith writing, Sith weapons, Sith artifacts, Sith ritual stuff, throne, whatever, mass weapons, experimental notes. What they had it, which was like crazy to me. But he saw it, right? And he decided to gather up all the writings of Sith, certain Siths, I don't know, it doesn't go too much detail into it, and put them together in a book, right? Then write his own thing and put it in there. Therefore, the Book of the Sith. You know what I'm saying? And then also in the book, you have people, various people in the Star Wars thing, who write notes and stuff. So before he gathered up all the stuff from the Sith and made the Book of the Sith, there were Jedi that we know like Yoda, Mace Windu, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Who wrote notes up in it, right? And then even after Emperor Palpatine, after he gathered it together, he wrote his own notes, right? Well, then later, after Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker went up into the archives and then found the Book of the Sith, and then he read it, right? Put page numbers on it, and then put his own commentary. So I mean, like, you have Asajj Ventress, Quinlan Voss, all types of people, you know, scattered throughout and stuff, you know. So that's the formation of it and this and that. But like I said, it goes way, way deeper into the Sith. Like the first, well, let's just go through the different chapters. Okay. And as you can, well, I don't know if you can see, but there's like different. So you can see that it's like a found book and they put it together. Well, he goes, the first part is Emperor Palpatine going into, you know, how he found the book and this and that and blah, 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 and the greatness of the Sith. But then it basically starts with a person who was with the first exiles of the Sith, right? They fought a war with the Jedi. They broke away from the Jedi, fought a war and lost and were exiled, right? And this person, the first one up, I'm sorry, let me get their name. It's up in here. And basically, man, I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. Let me go. This first entry up into the Book of the Sith. God. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. Shit. It was written by someone who was an experimenter. They weren't the leader. You know what I'm saying? They were not the leader, even though they declared themselves, because apparently the Sith Ri, the chosen one of the Sith, started way back then. And that's something that each contributor to the Book of Sith, they all conclude that they're the Sith Ri. But whatever. God dang. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Because it says up in here, they don't have, like, you know, written by. Oh, God. Hold up. Sorry, it's been a while since I read this because I've been doing other stuff. Let me go all the way to the back. That will probably give me the name. Oh, man. Oh, God. Okay, I'm back. Basically, Swords of Zen. Okay, basically, and Swords of Zen basically goes into detail about, you know, well, first of all, they were scientists. They were an inventor. And Swords of Zen goes into how basically they were exiled to the Sith home planet. They were a species. They conquered them within like a couple months and stuff, and they took over and stuff. So sorry about that. And basically they took over, right? and they started. They kept like the warrior class and the different classes and stuff, but then they put themselves on top. And basically, they figured out that the Sith were natural in the dark side and stuff. So they co-opted a species and then started intermarrying with them. And detailing the war, how they were exiled, how they took over, and they go through the different clans and stuff. Like the priests, the warriors, the slave. They had a slave race. Then it goes into weapons, amulets, the different, what else they go into? Temples and stuff, and the whole religion and stuff. I mean, he goes deep into it. Then these were the first Sith holocrons, when they were basically chronicling what they were doing and all the experiments and stuff. Goes into various things where then they went off and started conquering, other planets and stuff and experimenting. Then Sorzas Zen talks about how, the different experimentations with the beasts and machines and stuff and alchemy of the Sith and how he improved upon it. Sith incantations. Yeah, the Sith code, their code, not the code of the Sith species. And, I'm so sorry. So sorry, my thing went on. And basically that's where you get, I'll just read it out to you. Peace is a lie. There's only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The force shall free me. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of goes against Toru, the Jedi, what they've been preaching and stuff. And that's where it was formed and stuff. He didn't write it down. Someone else did. The next part is basically Malgus, right? And he talks about the wars. He talks about the Rim campaign. And basically it's a war diary, and he talks about the different, kind of factions and stuff. And he really puts down this one guy, him and a guy, I believe it's Valentinian and stuff, but this dude named Malgus and Valentinian was the main people fighting in the Rim campaign. But then this asshole named Adris was an ass kisser, and he takes a lot of the credit and stuff. Then he goes into how he had a love affair with this person called Alina, but he killed him because he knew that would be a weak point and stuff. He just goes through, it's basically, a war diary. He talks about how they fought here and there and whatnot. Yeah, it's just a war diary. It really doesn't add too much. He just talks about one of the campaigns and goes through the different battles and the technology he has, right? Then we get to the rule of two. Okay, the rule of two. Basically, that's Darth Bane, okay? This is where it started, right? But, and he goes into his reasoning and stuff, basically, he was with the Brotherhood of Darkness with a guy named Lord Khan, right? And he didn't agree with this. He knew that, hey, we're going to lose, with this. You know what I'm saying? We need to strengthen, the Sith. And this whole brotherhood, everyone equal. But of course, Khan was the head, right? That didn't work. And he thought that he needed to, change things and stuff. And that's where he got the analogy where venom, when you spread it out, you know what I'm saying? We spread it thin, it's not effective. But if you pour it all in one cup, it's more effective, right? And he basically, went into the archives and got Exar Kune's reading. The Exar Kune was the actual one who came up with the rule of two, right? But Darth Bane is the one who put it in motion, right? Basically, the way he got rid of them is, of course, they were fighting battles and stuff, and he was able to get the big chunk of the Jedi and all of the Sith on this planet. I can't. Rusan. And he came up with a thought bomb, right? The thought bomb is where you get everyone to concentrate on this bomb, but you put all of your force energy into it, and then boom, it kills everyone, right? Well, what he did, he tricked them into saying like, okay, we're gonna get the Jedi down here, we're gonna get this thought bomb, and then kill them. What they didn't know was a trap. He set it up where he took control of it. Psychically, he got a distance away. I can't remember if he was on planet or off planet, but he got a safe enough distance away, sneakily took over it, and then exploded the thought bomb with everyone. Okay? With everyone. So not only did he take out the Jedi, not all of them, but a lot of them, and the Sith. So then that left him. And then he's the one who came up with the title of Darth, and that should only be like two, the master and the apprentice, the master to embody power, and the apprentice to, desire it, right? And he's the one who thought, strike from the shadows. Basically, we're going to hide and then come back later on and get the Jedi. He's the one. A lot of people think that was Palpatine. No, Darth Bane is the one who came up with that, right? So then he goes into apprentices and stuff, and he goes into how you train them and this and that, and where you select from, and how you keep multiple ones and you play them off of each other, but yet train them and stuff. It's a good thing to let your apprentice have another apprentice, so they have an apprentice already set up. Or if your apprentice proves to be not worthy, you just kill them and get their apprentice and take them and stuff. It goes way, way into it. It's like kind of like The Prince, like Machiavelli and stuff. Kind of goes into training personal combat, light back construction, the different variants, lightsaber combat, different sabers, armor, even the dark side version of combat, and then he goes into how you basically, you basically have, and then you hold it until the apprentice is ready to challenge you to a fight and stuff. It wasn't the apprentice supposed to kill you. The apprentice challenged you to a fight, you kill him, and then they take over. Okay, to prove their worthiness. Then it goes into Mother Talzin. That goes to the Dark Sisters and stuff of Dagobah. Basically, yeah, they were dark side users, but they were a different version of it because Dathomir, Dathomir was just like a nexus of dark side power. And it goes into how their thing, and they have their own history of the dark side. They go into the forming of the Night Sisters and how they were like, clans, then tribes, then chiefdoms and stuff. And their understanding, they have a totally different understanding than the Sith. They have a religion related to it. It goes into their society and how it's formed around the Night Sisters and stuff. And the different ranks, and how the women, it's pretty much matriarchy, goes into their religion. And basically they have like the winged goddess and the fanged god, and that's basically male, female, and how they complement each other and stuff, and how the males are supposed to serve the females and stuff for the betterment of the whole society and stuff, how they're basically complementary and stuff. But the female obviously is going to be in charge. Then it goes into way deep into their magic talismans and totems and stuff, and the beasts. And then it goes into incantations. Then it goes into the warrior clans and this and that, and the different ranks and what you do. And then it even goes into how you basically take all of these different specializations in society and then go off world and sell them to other species, peoples, companies, whatever, and then you improve Dathomir and the Night Sisters reputation throughout the society. Then you bring that money back to Dathomir and help and donate it and help improve the Night Sisterhood and stuff. They also go into different She also goes into other dark side traditions that I did not know about. I think they probably should have had their own chapter, but they don't get their own chapter. You have the prophets of the dark side. They're supposed to be similar to the Sith. They claim, skills in fortune telling, stuff like that. There's the Kanzar Exiles. They're reptilian. They're like a death cult and stuff. There's the Sorcerers of the Rand. They claim kinship with the Night Sisters of the Dark. They don't like them. There's other groups they talk about. They have they serve as mercenaries. Then they talk about some people who claim affinity with the Sith, like the House Massetti. They're in the Timpani sector. There's the Black Guard. They're from Mustafar. They're kind of like a break-off group after the Battle of Rusan, where Thought Bomb happened, left over. The Shapers of Krovar. They're like shamans and stuff. So I wish they would have got a little bit further into that. You know what I'm saying? I would have appreciated that. They should have got their own chapter, but hey, it doesn't happen that way. Then then there's Darth Plagueis, and basically we get a whole bunch of. It looks like a combination of notes of his experiments and then his own philosophy. Basically, he was an experimenter. He basically was about creating life and perpetuating life. He studied the midichlorians and stuff, and he basically broke it down into three things where they have Aperion, Anima, and Pneuma. The Aperion is basically what unites matter. The Anima gives life. It's like energy. The Pneuma is like consciousness and stuff. And he even has like a diagram of it and stuff. So he kind of breaks down life. Well, not life, but like, the midichlorians and stuff. So, which basically is similar to what, like a cell. Basically, he works on perpetual life because he wants to live forever. He talks about increasing your forces using the midichlorians and stuff. Goes kind of in philosophy of life. Basically, he wants to live forever. You know what I'm saying? But then he starts exploring like different. Not only does he do experiments to find out about the powers of the midichlorians, he does some exploration into the Force and how you can increase your powers and stuff. Even he talks about transcending death. Basically, like I said, he wants to live forever. Talks about a lot of philosophical stuff about the netherworld and the chaos within that and conquering that. Talks about the Sith spirits, but he really doesn't know a lot about it. There is some stuff, but there's nothing definite that he has. Then he goes through prophecy of the chosen one, the Sith Ari. Like I said, Sith Ari is supposed to come and make the Sith more powerful. Same old thing, you know what I'm saying? And once again, at the end, he claims that he's the one. And he says he's the culmination of the Sith Ari. Obviously not, because he gets killed by the next guy, Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine. Basically, his thing is called absolute power. And he has several books and stuff. The first one is Weakness of Inferiors. Basically, that's a instruction guide, how to instruct people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Basically, how to use people. He talks about the false war, basically how we started the Clone Wars and stuff, and bragging. Useful bureaucrats, how to get the people on the side and to gain money and stuff and infrastructure and stuff. Basically, he's going into the details of the Clone War, pretty much. Hiding in plain sight. Okay, basically he just tells what Darth Bane talks about, hiding in the shadows. He just talks about how he used that, how he incorporated that, how he pretended to be, Mr. Gentleman, but he was really a Sith Lord, and how he hid his abilities and stuff from regular people and the Jedi. Then he goes into the Book of Anger. Basically, the Book of Anger pretty much, he talks about how you can use anger, and anger, the parallel to me is like energy, and how you can focus it, how emotions, especially anger, gives you focus and then gives you drive to go after what you want. But he says, manage anger. Don't let anger manage you. Just don't let it go all off. If you have anger, channel that into something positive. You know what I'm saying? Use that to grow. Turn that negative into a positive. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a third book here. All right, Manipulation of Life. Yeah, basically that's pretty much a continuation of Plagueis, pretty much. He basically picked up where Plagueis left off, and he started doing his own experiments and stuff, and kind of hints at how he probably, brought, Anakin Skywalker to life, and stuff. And like I said, there's commentary. That's pretty much it for the book. Like I said, there's commentary by tons of people here, agreeing or disagreeing or looking at it and being like, oh, that's why that happened, But yeah, I like this book. It was great. It filled in a lot of, holes that the movies just don't provide. They provide all this stuff about the Jedi, but they don't provide about the Sith, the enemy. I mean, like, if you have a protagonist, you have to have an antagonist, and you have to know them, even if you paint them in a bad light. And this kind of fills it in. I wish it did a little bit more, especially, I really didn't like the fact that other dark side people outside the Sith was combined in Mother Talzin's, the Night Sisters chapter. They should have had their own kind of miscellaneous chapter where they go even further into it, even though obviously by her description they were kind of lesser dark side users, but I would really like to know more about them and stuff, especially since some of them obviously were leftovers from the original sin, like the Dark Brothers and stuff like that, and they also were used and became mercenaries just like the Night Sisters and stuff, and were used by or in coalition with the Night Sisters and the Sith. So that would have been a little bit more better. But as far as like filling out, this really, now I can go back to all the Star Wars movies and understand the Sith a whole lot better. They should have put all this stuff in the movies. Like not just the first ones, but the second ones, the third ones and stuff, so we can really understand the protagonists. And to be honest with you, I mean, like, now that I know a little bit more about them and stuff, they don't really seem that much like bad guys to me. It's like I feel like they could get like their own series and stuff. Like I heard that they're doing like a thing now where they're going to come out with Acolyte, and those are people just like the Inquisitors of the Sith. But it's like, no, I want to know more about the Sith. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that in the episodes and the video games and stuff, they have, certain, they go a little bit more into like the history. They show the Sith empires and stuff like that. But this goes up into all of them. I mean, I was not bored or anything when they went into like stuff like weapons and armor and beasts that they use and experiments and history of battles. This really does fill out a lot. And I think that the Sith, they can get their own series. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, an antagonist is their own protagonist. And, when you look at like you look at the philosophies, it's really not that different. I mean, like the Jedi want to be free, so do the Sith. The Jedi want to be the best they can be, so do the Sith. So I think that they deserve their own movies and stuff now that this thing came out. And I would go see it, especially after the disaster of the trilogy sequel, because that was garbage. And I believe this is enough stuff here that they can come out with their own series just on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I would see it. You know what I'm saying? It would probably be a little bit more interesting than the vanilla Jedi. So that's it. You want to go enjoy Star Wars more and stuff, or just, was all just wondering about the Sith like me, yeah, check this out. All right, later.